Oh, by the way, did you see that Bram is accepting a new job at Auburn?
Oh, damn.
Yeah, which is cool, and also I wonder what that means for Schrapp,
Wonder what that
What
means for
is
Schrapp.
the Butler Arts Center.
What are the?
What is
That's,
Auburn?
are him and Kelly still like a thing?
They are, and I wonder what that means for them as well.
Because if Schratt loses their entire everyone,
Yeah,
Hey,
that'd be
Chris,
weird.
there might be a job opening for you.
I would at least
It's
consider
distinctly
applying.
possible.
It depends on
It's
like
worth applying, I would say.
it like depends on when it goes up, frankly, because like
Well,
Yeah,
it's probably worth touching base with Bram and kind of seeing what the plan is with that.
it's very.
Because like you probably have enough experience to justify like at least like an assistant position.
oh certainly
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
you definitely have more experience than Kelly did when she.
yeah
got the
like
job
I had
through
enough
nepotism.
experience to get the job Kelly did when she got it. I just was never given the opportunity to apply.
Right, because
That's a
nepotism.
bummer.
Because you're going to hire your girlfriend if she quote unquote applies. I always was kind of skeeved by that. I still love Bram. He's awesome.
Yeah, I mean they're both really good people. Good for them. Whatever.
Well, that's good for you because it indicates that he is not opposed to nepotism.
Fair enough.
I mean, it's true.
But also, I wouldn't want Bram's job. I would want the assistant job. Are you fucking kidding me?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like somebody
I
takes
know,
over
yeah.
Bram's job and then you take over the assistant job. Because I mean, the usual thing would be that like Kelly, is what you said, would probably take over the
Yeah,
like,
because that's what
position.
happened with Bram.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and you said Bram's going to Auburn. What, like the university?
Yeah,
Okay, in Georgia.
I think.
Presumably.
Let me look it up.
I thought it was the Montana one.
Well, there's also Auburn in Indiana.
Oh, is there?
Okay.
Yeah, just a bit north of Fort Wayne. It's where they hold the giant auto auction every year.
I mean, it's got to be a move up, I would assume, instead of a lateral move.
Yeah.
I can't imagine
So-
you'd move out to Auburn for a lateral move.
Auburn University Theater. That's all he says.
I mean, Auburn. I mean, that sounds like a job within the theater department at Auburn University, which is a pretty big state school.
This says
Yeah, I mean,
Performing
that-
Arts Theater in Auburn, Alabama.
Okay. There you go.
Alabama.
But that's like specifically I mean, presumably, that's like the Auburn University people would know about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
Absolutely.
assume. I guess Alabama.
Isn't that the one
I
that
thought it was in Georgia.
They're in,
don't
no,
they have a big
Auburn's-
ass?
Auburn's the one that's in the Iron Bowl with Alabama every year, so everyone.
I was gonna say, doesn't Auburn have like a big ass football everything?
Yeah.
Well, it's the South. It's a public college in the South, so yes.
Frank Thomas went to Auburn.
He did. He played football and baseball there.
Mm-hmm. So did Bo
Frank
Jackson.
Thomas is the guy with like arms bigger than my entire body, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
He's cool as hell.
All right.
He could.
Used to- Do batting.
I was going to
practice with
say-
a big piece of rebar.
I was going to say he could
Yeah.
do batting practice with your entire body.
Yeah.
Yes. You just use Jordan's rigor mortis body as a baseball
Like,
bat.
honestly, taking warm-up swings in the on-deck circle with a piece of rebar is the single coolest thing any baseball player has ever done.
It's gotta be like kind of scary to your opponent too. It's just like, oh man, that guy's tough.
Yeah, and that guy's tough, and it's not just he's strong, he also has, like, one of the best eyes in the history of baseball.
Yeah, he's also 6'4" and weighs 270 pounds.
And so if you hit him, you are getting tackled by a linebacker.
Last thing I say about baseball.
That's not true, but that's okay.
I mean, for now, because I don't want Tim to get upset.
It's okay. Go ahead.
Just,
Free speech is allowed.
but have you guys? I'm sure most of you, or at least, well, yeah, most of you know of the fight between Robin Ventura and Nolan Ryan.
Yeah, we talked about this last time.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't even remember. It's one of my favorite moments in that video. Is obviously like the fighting, but then you see Frank Thomas is holding like 3 guys by himself.
Yeah.
He's like wrangling them around like they're teenagers. He's like, "You guys are done."
Mhm.
He's a big man.
Was that during? Was that when like Brian Williams randomly punched the shit out of someone for no reason, or was that after that?
That was after that. Are you talking about when AJ got punched in the face?
Yeah, was that by Brian Williams?
That was
No,
by
that was,
Michael Barrett.
yeah, Michael.
Oh, I
Barrett.
remember that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Punch
That was-
AJ
oh,
got him
yeah.
into the 2006 All-Star game.
It's true.
Was it Brian Williams? He's the news guy. Was
You
Brian
talk
Williams
about
also
Brian Anderson, Tim?
Brian Anderson? That's who I'm talking about.
Yes, there was
Who
Brian Anderson.
Got the
was also
shit
in-
kicked out of him in that fight or whatever.
Yeah, there was. I don't remember what fight it was, but there was a fight where he like threw a punch and then he got his ass kicked.
I think. I thought it might have been that fight,
There probably was.
like because everyone like rushed the mound after that.
Yeah, and Scott Podsednik started wailing on somebody. I'm like, dude, you weigh like 120 pounds. Oh no, Scott Podsednik was the guy who tackled Michael Barrett after he punched AJ.
Really?
Oh,
Good for Scotty
good
Pods.
for him.
Yeah. I will say that's one.
But also, I'm sure.
Go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say I'm sure AJ smarted off something fierce because that fucking guy.
Oh yeah. I mean, he took it standing. Like he didn't fall down. He's just like, all right.
Yeah, right.
And
There's like a picture of that perfectly of that moment.
yeah. And my favorite part was later that season when the Sox were playing the Cubs at Wrigley Field. The Cubs were 1 out away from winning a game, and AJ hit a 3-run homer in the top of the
Yes.
9th inning. And the Cubs
Yeah.
fans were so upset they started throwing trash on the field.
On their own
Still
field.
On their own field.
Because AJ Przinsky is a goddamn champion.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Everyone
He's a
hates him.
commentator now, right?
Yeah,
I know.
he's a good
He
one
went-
too.
He went to what, like the Reds, or
He was
he
on
went to a
bunch of
different team
teams.
afterwards, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
he was on the Rangers and the
Giants for a little bit.
Braves. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, he ended his career with the Braves, right?
Yeah, that's when he got ejected from a game because he asked the ump for a ball, but preferably one that he could see.
This
Um,
just shithead, man.
Jordan,
I know.
AJ Przinsky played for the Fort Wayne Tin Caps.
I love him.
That's all it
He's my
takes.
new favorite baseball player.
Look, like I am. I'm very devoted to my hometown teams.
Yeah. Paul Konerko played for the Indianapolis Indians.
Yeah, I thought my hometown team.
It currently is your hometown.
Yeah, but
Are
I
we
don't like
playing in the
their
Anjanath?
yeah.
Correct. You know what?
And
I'm sorry, Slagtoth. I always need Slagtoth fights.
Well, if you're gonna kill it, I'm
Rest
gonna
in
carve
peace.
it.
I was gonna
Rest in peace, hippo doggy.
Oh,
I hate that they make you kill the peaceful, like, cute animals.
oh,
I know.
so cute.
It's okay. He's in a better
Like what you
place.
see? You like what you fucking see?
I know. Chris
Well, he's
is
in the
like
same place, but now he's dead.
personal shot right now. Really
I'm
letting
gonna
me
go
soak
with this.
in the murder.
I'm just thinking about my failed jump again now.
Oh god,
So funny.
something only you and Owen experienced.
Give it 2 months.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can't wait for that episode to come out because that was just incredible.
Now, will it be upscaled from Game Boy Micro again? Question.
No, it will actually be visible.
Chris, I think it was what minimum 20 times that you tried.
I don't think it was. Well,
If it wasn't, it was pretty close.
it might have been close.
The best part is it starts with you see Duncan's character fall down a hole, and then you
Yeah.
see his icon like falling into the depths of hell, and then Chris trying to jump over this wall.
Good lord.
Relatively
so
short
good.
wall.
Yeah. But like your character literally had an animation where it stepped back and then fell off.
Yeah.
Yeah, they. For some reason, some walls just like have a lip at the top, and your character's just like bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So unless you like have a wire bug prepped, you're just falling.
Yeah.
No, I made it.
I don't believe you.
I finished that fight, didn't I?
Finish the fight.
Mm.
Halo 666.
Whoa. They should rebrand
I
Halo
wonder-
Infinite.
Yeah.
That's the name. That's
That's
the name
just
of the
Doom.
Monster Factory character.
Oh,
they made
yeah!
for Monster Hunter World. Halo 666.
Yeah, with the green fucking
they made-
face.
They made it look like vaguely like a weird Cortana Master Chief. So they're like, this is Cortana, Master Chief's daughter, and it's starring in Halo 666. I wonder if they're gonna do Monster Hunter. Probably not. They seem
Probably
to just
not.
gonna do whatever the fuck they want at this point.
I mean, Griffin just had a kid, so it'll probably be a long while.
This is true. I really want another Crusaders Kings one though, because that
Yeah.
one was fantastic.
I saw a Polygon article about the character creator in fucking Metopia.
Utopia is like popping off on Twitter right now. I
And,
don't know
like-
why. That's like an old game, right?
It's
Yeah,
getting a
it-
Switch port.
Yeah.
Port,
But-
right? Like,
Because Metopia was the thing on 3DS that you played with Street Pass.
yeah.
So, like, rescue the king with the crown or whatever. And you used your friend's
No.
Mies, right?
No, that was just part of Street Pass Plaza.
And I think it was called Metopia.
No, I don't remember what it was called, but Metopia was its own game.
Yeah.
It might have been for Wii U, actually.
I think it was for both Wii U and 3DS.
Yeah, that's maybe something like that. But yeah, I think that was just called like Me Adventure or some shit.
Yeah.
I see you are not moving, therefore you are likely looking it up.
Yeah.
I was gonna say 'cause
A
I'm pretty
role
sure
play,
for
an
Utopia-
RPG with life simulation elements, starting with blah blah blah. Similar to Tamagotchi Life, Mies and their relationships out of combat with each other affect the game. Yeah, okay, so this is apparently a whole
Yeah.
thing. Huh.
It's like a
Yeah.
whole separate game. Yeah.
What
It
was
did
it
not
for-
come
was
out
it for
for
Wii
Wii
U?
U, just 3DS.
Oh, okay.
Huh. So it's a port of a 3DS game.
That came out
That's-
after, that was launched after the launch of the Switch, July 2017.
That's right. What a bizarre
Bizarre. yeah.
everything.
Anyway, the character creator apparently allows you to make things that are
I
not
did not get hit by that.
humans,
Fuck
because the example
that. Yeah.
on the Polygon thumbnail was a fucking V-Bucks gift card.
I saw someone made like almost a 1-to-1 of the Mona Lisa, like, and the face actually looks like the painting. I'm like, what did you do?
I also saw
What
one
sins
that
have you
looked
committed?
exactly like the beginning of Pokemon Gen 2, where like the Nidoran or the Jigglypuff or whatever hops out of the ball. Only it was just a whooper in the middle of that screen and it just said this.
Like, what did you, can you put photos in or something?
I don't know, but like that was that Mii's head.
Is there like a Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2014 like upload your face into it sort of thing?
Oh god, or like that baseball game we had.
Yes.
Just horrifically graphed your face on a 3D model.
Griffin and Justin did a Monster Factory with that one. They
Oh
uploaded
no.
some
With like the
some
PS2
old
iToy.
sitcom actor's face as the and it was just like a very bad picture where like half of his face is in shadow and it looks awful. But the more shocking thing is that it took like, this was an Xbox 360 game and it took like 25 minutes for them to like graft the face onto the,
Oh
the
no.
body. Whatever.
That was like the that wrestling game that everyone was playing because it had like a fairly in-depth character creator.
I mean, they always have. Is
I
the
know.
thing.
That's the one
And
good
they're
thing you could
always
say about the WWE
terrible.
franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just love because they had like random people's faces that you could put on characters.
Nice. Yeah.
So like people were just putting it like in the middle of their chest or like
hmm
putting it horizontally across their face.
Shit.
That was weird.
I think that was a golf swing.
Ah,
Sorry.
To be fair, it's the only time you could ever hit this thing's head.
yeah.
So you're all
Like, I was-
converging on the head.
I was in the middle of the golf swing as you came into it, so I'm sorry, but like there was literally nothing I could have
I
done.
know.
No, I understand.
I
And,
was-
like, there was no other way for me to try and do that attack I was doing because, like, it's a wire bug
I
thing.
know. I was trying to fucking Shoryuken KO it because it's like the only time its head is ever there. Well, it didn't even KO it. It's probably because we've hit it twice in the head. These jag-off monsters, and yet this monster gives you good hammer stuff. Doesn't make sense.
And yet this monster is in the game instead of a Glavenus or a fucking Devil Joe.
Where's Andrews?
I'm thinking there's a 100% chance Glavenus ends up in this game.
There's also a 100% chance Devil Joe shows up at some point.
Yeah, right.
Like, they
It's
added that
Devil
thing
Joe.
into Monster Hunter World immediately.
And yet
They
my
did,
boy
yeah.
Zamtrius out looking in.
Yeah, like Rajang and Xantrios, I think, came in one of the first updates for Monster Hunter World.
And that's why their music sounds like shit in that game.
Yeah, pretty much.
I get so upset, like, or got so upset at that time when, like, it was like, and Devil Joe is coming to Monster Hunter World. Here's the music. And everyone's like, this is the best Devil Joe theme yet. I'm like, it's not real.
God. It's literally all MIDI. It was fucking orchestrally recorded in Monster Hunter 3. Why did they just use it again?
Didn't they just use it again?
I mean, I suppose the music works differently in these games. So they needed a monster running away version, and they need like a lower key, like monsters not in the area version, because the music works a little more dynamically in these games. So that's probably why, but it's not any less disappointing because of it. And the Devil Joe's theme is like very Rite of Springy, and it was like fully recorded and everything by like a live orchestra in an earlier game, and they just like did an entire MIDI version for the most recent game in the franchise.
Oh, why would you downgrade like that?
Because,
Yeah, it sucks.
I guess because they recorded all of the themes at one time, obviously, before the game launched. And I guess they didn't want to...
And then it was an update.
And they didn't want to deal with getting a whole session for DLC monsters, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, really. I mean, they they recorded all of Monster Hunter World in Nashville, so I mean, that sounds like it would be a pretty huge hassle to get a Nashville session again just to record the Devil Joe theme.
I should ask my friend if she recorded for Monster Hunter.
God damn it, Jordan.
She recorded for Destiny 2, which was out around the same time.
I don't even know what plugged me in the air that time.
Yeah,
you said
I thought it was far enough away. Like, I was intentional about that.
You said your friend recorded. Whoa! I just like knocked it on its ass with my my guard point move.
Oh, cool!
Nice.
Yeah.
The original KO move for.
Anywho. Whoa, the music is like, oh yeah. Anytime I do a screen recording or whatever, the music just absolutely tweaks out in this game. It's interesting.
I think our Nintendo Switches are just haunted.
Not as haunted. Oh, do you remember when you were over and my Overwatch ultimates were just like probably 15 times louder than everything else in the game?
That's funny.
It was like, do you remember that one?
Huh.
Do you remember? Are you listening?
Sorry, slightly distracted.
Okay, it's fine. Basically, like, everything was fine, and then I used Moira's ultimate, and it was like,
Oh yeah.
I was like, holy shit!
Yeah,
What is
it was
wrong with you?
like it blew out. Well, it didn't blow out, but it was just like it sounded like a freight train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, like, all of Chris's ultimates were like too quiet for him to hear.
Yeah.
Like a week earlier.
Yeah.
And then there was that time where our audio, just like literally the entire audio was clipping.
Yeah, that happened.
There's so many weird audio issues with it on Switch.
Just going along like a normal game, and then the universe exempt for me.
Yeah.
That's gonna sound horrible.
I mean, it
Horrible.
definitely gathered the effect. That's for sure.
I think overall on Switch is
Oh, what?
Whoa! Everyone apparently needs to heal. Christ, was everyone in a straight line for that attack?
I was at like 80%
Yeah.
health, I thought, and that's not like his strongest
That's-
attack. What?
And I think that actually is his strongest attack, like the big ass, like jaw dash
Oh.
Yeah,
in the ground.
Well, my bad.
I think I actually got caught at the front of it, which was like a lesser hit than what you got. That one fucked me up in World quite a bit.
They're gonna fuck
I hope
me up.
I hope they get subspecies back again too.
Yeah.
Always like those. The Fulgur Anjanath was pretty cool.
Fulganjanath was pretty cool. We didn't. I don't know if we ever ended up fighting all of the subspecies that were added.
I don't think so. I mean, we just didn't end up.
Playing
That
that
game-
much.
Yeah.
I would personally.
Hey, I've still got like 7 more months of PS
I
Plus.
mean, yeah, same. If we somehow get bored of doing this one and prefer to do Monster Hunter World,
I just
That'd be
prefer to
perfect.
play in a much slower, worse experience.
yeah.
Slower, like literally only because of loading screens. It takes 10
yeah,
hours
and
to like start that game.
loading screens and the internet functionality for the game just
Yeah.
make it the slowest shit ever. And cutscenes. Endless fucking cutscenes.
Endless cutscenes.
All your story needs in the game Monster Hunter. Starring Mila JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Mila
Yeah.
JoJo's Bazongas.
Mila JoJo's.
JoJo's Bazongos.
I still need to watch that movie together.
I've honestly heard it is like terrible beyond what anyone thought it would be. Like Gaijin Hunter was like, you know what? I'm excited for this movie. Like it's gonna be bad. I know it's gonna be bad, but like I'm excited to see monsters on screen. And then he came out of it just like, I can't believe what they did with all of the monsters and everything. Like I just fucking hated it. Like,
Sounds
yeah,
like a
well,
good drinking game movie.
yeah, that's true.
I think JoJo's Bazongas is just the name of the JoJo's arc where Jolene is the main character.
Yeah,
I was gonna say maybe that's like the part 7 name.
yeah. JoJo's Bizarre
Stone
Adventure Part
Ocean,
7,
Steel
JoJo's
Ball
Bizarre-
Run, Bazongas, Bazingas.
Bazongas Bazingas.
Stop naming stands from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure,
Yeah.
and or characters, and or like the U.S. president. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
I'm sorry, the U.S. president shows up at some point?
Yeah. in
Probably.
Steel Ball Run.
It
Surprised
takes
at all?
place in Florida.
It does take place in Florida.
Also in Part 7, Jesus Christ is the first stand user.
That's true.
That's right. You did
Because
say
they're looking for the holy corpse parts.
that. In part
It's
what?
just in Steel Ball Run.
Which
is
at that
Part
point it's
7.
not even the same like universe anymore, is it?
No, it's not.
Why does anyone care?
Yeah. But it seems like, from what I've heard, everyone's favorite one is Steel Ball Run.
What?
Weird.
Like, everyone I see is like, man, I can't wait. Like, everyone's basically just like, cool, now that they announced Part 6, it just means we're closer to Part 7.
I mean,
Like, okay.
I always thought I saw Steel Ball Run hype and thought it was just a meme because the concept sounds so fucking dumb.
It is, but...
Because it kind
people
of,
have
it
got
basically
some, like,
just becomes a sports show at that point, doesn't it, or something?
It's basically just like the great... Like, what is it? The Great Race or whatever? Like,
Cannonball
it's racing
Run?
across America. Yeah, Cannonball Run.
Is that a thing?
The Cannonball
Yeah,
Run is an unofficial race that is illegal to get from New York to Los Angeles as fast as possible via car in one shot.
Yeah, it's basically that, but they're also...
I'm almost
looking
sure that's
for
what it's referencing.
Jesus Christ's shins.
Shins.
Jesus Christ was in the Shins?
Yes.
Okay.
He wrote he wrote Phantom Limb because he's missing his shins.
Jesus. Gee, I mean, literally Jesus.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, that one kind of fell in place. I didn't have that one planned out.
That was a good one. I liked it. I know 2 songs by the Shins, and I like both of them, and I've never bothered to listen to any more.
That's okay, because the Shins kind of disappeared after that album.
They definitely did.
Hmm.
They were like, we're on SNL, and then they were like, we're gone.
Yeah.
We decided we don't like SNL.
Wait, Shins are a modern band?
Yes.
Yes.
Did not
Modern
realize
as
that.
in like late 2000s, early 2010s.
Yeah.
The Cannonball Run
Taking
record
some
was
hits.
broken, I think, 7 times during the COVID 2020 quarantine area.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's not surprising.
What was it? What'd you say?
The Cannonball Run record was broken, I think, 7 times during summer 2020.
Oh, wow.
Because people were like, well, if we can't go anywhere, we may as well go somewhere as fast as possible.
He did like read an article on it, and it's kind of interesting how people like do it.
Yeah, like the record
Is
is
it-
like 25 hours to drive from New York to Los Angeles.
Yeah, and
Okay.
well, they'll like essentially like fill up every like unused part of their car with like gas tanks, spare gas tanks.
Yeah. You're trying to go as fast as you can. It's a speed run.
And it's just like you have like spotters to know like if a road is safe to like
Yeah,
drive down
like
at top
scout out.
speed. Yeah, and so like, oh no, there's a cop, you gotta go a different way.
Fit
You
here
gotta.
right now. I'm sorry to break this to you, but you're you're literally
talking about a
failing.
cat?
Yes, she's literally failing
Okay.
to sit down.
Cats tend to do that.
I don't know. Cats
One
are
of
very
TG's best
successful at
bits.
sitting down. I thought.
One of TG's best bits was all the time was preparing to sit down and circling 15 times and not sitting down
Yeah.
until Haley just like pushed him over pretty much.
Listen, he's old.
Gently.
Sergio does that too. He's the master of just
Sergio.
circling around his spot on the couch that he sits every day.
Sergio Cantos.
Oh my god. I forgot
Yeah.
about that American Dad bit.
Sergio, is that a dog or a cat?
Dog.
He's our dog.
How can you forget about that American Dad bit?
I just like it was repressed, I think.
Oh, we're
So you have 2 dogs?
Yes, I have 2
All
dogs.
right.
One
like
is Sergio.
the entire
and
conceit of that
the other one
episode
is crack
is
cocaine
Stan is bullying Steve.
Yeah.
And there's like it comes back from like the commercial break with just a very slow scene of a woman getting sliced ham from her local deli and like being very particular about how sliced she wants it. And then she steps outside and immediately like Stan punches her and rips her head off, and it's Steve in a costume.
Jesus.
That's very.
Yeah, because wasn't
American
Sergio Cantus just like Stan's high school bully
Yeah,
or
and
something?
Steve
Yes.
was like, "Well, how did you deal with him?" And he's like, "Well, I didn't. He moved away."
dad.
I think it's going to sleep, so I guess we'll chill here for a second. Even though I just slashed him. He's just kind of
He's just kind of standing there. Wait,
Okay,
he
never
seems to
mind.
be incensed. he has
He's mad about all of the stabbing.
he's got bugs on him.
He does, and I still have no idea what they do. Actually, I took a picture of those, so I should have the info on whatever they are and do.
And bugs are gross.
They're called echo bats, actually.
Oh.
Yet another thing in this game that looks like a bug, but it's not.
Anything that flies is a bug. Malfestio, bug.
Monster Hunter.
Flames
Yes,
bugs.
gaslighting you into wondering what a bug is since 2021.
Just trying to counter it. Hey,
Hey,
I did it.
his head is in the ground. If you can't hit it now,
It
when
is
can you hit
indeed.
it?
You actually can't. Because it is in the ground. Alright, there we go.
Well, but that when the flails happen, then it's above ground.
This is true. I hear dog.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then you have to time your hits to the fucking flails.
You have
Yeah,
to do that
pretty much.
anyway.
No, you don't.
Reciting the
I carved
Sergio
the plate.
Cantos bit awakened the demon.
Creates the hate in me. It's a monster that you've created.
Yeah. Sounds like is that a Cooler's Revenge track?
I think that's. Which one is that?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
It definitely is. It might be Reminded? No. Doesn't sound like that. Hey guys, which Cooler's Revenge track had the lyric "This monster that you've created"?
Ow, ow.
And sorry, you're gonna have to reference the VHS release from 2003 because
Yeah.
that's the only one that had
Funimation
it on.
released it.
Ooh, I got a
Featuring
gem.
such
I also
hits
got a
as-
gem.
Oh, awesome! I didn't, but I got one before, so that's fine.
I'm pretty sure the song was "I threw that refrigerator's body into the river."
Oh yeah, that was my favorite. That was my favorite Slayer song that they included in Dragon Ball Z back in the day. They lost the license to it, unfortunately, though. So
Yeah.
Look, I'm
Can't
just real
put it
glad
in
that
mine.
that Cooler got his revenge.
He didn't. He super didn't.
Yeah, he definitely did not.
Because he comes back in Cooler Returns, which should
Yeah.
honestly be
Wait.
the one that's named Cooler's Revenge.
Wait.
Yeah.
No, I just want to be 100% clear. We were talking about an actual Cooler, right?
No.
No.
Of course.
We're talking
Conflicting
about
results.
yeah, exactly. That's and his brother Freezer.
His brother Freezer and his other brother from another mother, Chilled.
Yeah.
It-
Well, that's
It's good
from-
that we're talking about an actual
that's
Cooler
his
because
ancestor.
otherwise my knowledge of this is just way off.
Yeah, from the Dragon Ball content that everyone always wanted.
Yep, and everyone immediately loved and didn't hate.
You sound
There's like
that sounds not true.
the Broly movie, which by the way we should watch because it's actually awesome.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Is like the only piece of Dragon Ball content that has come out in 30 years, perhaps, that has been worth watching. 30 years? That's too long.
That's too long because that's me.
Because when
Well,
did
it's all the way
Japan?
back to
It
Dragon
stopped
Ball Z or
in
whatever.
Japan in 1996, if that helps.
Okay, the Japan run of Z ended in '96. Then that's what
Yes.
I was trying to refer to.
yeah, it's the only
The
Dragon Ball
20
content
25
worth watching.
Yeah,
It's only the Dragon Ball content released in the last 50 years worth watching.
the greatest movie ever. Yo, Son Goku and his friends return.
That people love, right? Somehow.
Weirdly, I don't know why.
I think it's because it was the actual first piece of Dragon Ball content that had been created in like 15
Yeah, in like
years at the
forever,
time.
and it was terrible.
Right. But everyone's like, it is Son Goku and his friends.
And they're all here fighting
I remember them.
Toriyama's reject bin of character designs. That dude, he just like lost his touch for designing things,
I mean, he just doesn't give a shit, which is fine.
which is fine. I mean,
He's
he's
allowed
made
to
more
not
money in
give a
his
shit.
life than he ever needs.
Right.
Dragon Ball is $1 billion franchise.
Mm.
I
He
do
collects
appreciate
his $3 off of every Android 18 figurine with
Ugh.
removable skirt or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, and
Wait,
heavily
what?
enlarged breasts.
Yeah.
Anime was a mistake.
It was.
Listen to
Fair.
fucking Miyazaki over here.
Yeah.
He was right.
Also,
he should say
Miyazaki
it.
never actually said that.
He should have said it because he was right if he were to have said it.
Yeah. He was very heavily misquoted.
Especially when you could like easily just have a picture. Like, I mean, I guess the point is that he's explicitly, quote unquote, talking about anime there, but just like use him saying, "I strongly feel that this is an insult to life itself." Just like use that if
Which
you want to
is
have a
so
good diss.
good.
Oh god, that's
you
much
watched
harsher.
Yeah.
Have
Is
you
that-
watched
is
that
that
video,
the-
Chris? Chris,
I couldn't hear you.
have you watched that video before?
That's in that is in the Kingdom of Dreams and Madness, right?
No, I don't think so. Anyway, it's I don't think it is. It's from like a kind of recent thing actually, where like for some reason some guys were like showing him. Oh, and do you know
Yes.
what I'm talking about at all?
Yeah, I
I
think
have
as
seen
well.
this.
because Kingdoms
Okay.
of Dreams and Madness is the one that's chronicling the production of Wind Rises, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So these guys were like trying to show their like innovation, quote unquote, in
Yes.
animation to
Mhm.
Miyazaki, where they were like AI generating walk cycles, like for CG characters or whatever, and the walk cycles that the AI generated, like as like kind of a path of least resistance walk cycle, were these horrifying, like ambling, like Resident Evil looking shit, like absolute monstrous stuff. And they're like, this is what we made to Miyazaki, who already
Mhm.
made CG animation.
Yeah.
And he was literally like, they turned to him, and Miyazaki was like, yeah. So I have a lot of I have a lot of disabled friends, and I feel like this is mocking them, and I actually feel like this is kind of an insult to life itself. He said it like so stone cold, and like one of the guys actually starts crying.
Just fucking gutted him in front of everybody.
It's like, what were you thinking?
Yeah. This
It's
is the
so
dude
funny.
who used digital animation once and was like, nah.
Yeah, digital, not even CG.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's like such an iconic video.
I know.
Just and like what absolutely not to do
I know.
in front of one of the greatest artists of like the past century.
Mm-hmm.